Hi, Dr. Eric Westman here with the top 8 tips for surviving the holidays. Remember to get my top 10 tips to start keto the right way. The link is in the description below. One of the main philosophies that I bring to keto is keep it simple. If things are complicated, you build this big house of cards that will drop, with one little misstep. You want to create a simple strategy for parties, potlucks, restaurant eating, fast food, holiday dinners. I'll get into all these, but my main theme is to keep it as simple as you can. If you're a planner, think ahead. Plan your meals. It's very helpful, especially if you have a family, on a day off that you have to meal prep, to get things ready in the refrigerator or freezer. Very helpful when things get busy over the holidays. If you're not a planner, just stick to the meat and the veggies and no sugar in the drinks. It's a pretty tried and true method, no matter where you are. Parties are coming back into vogue now that things are opening up after the pandemic. My preference, of course, if you're on the strict keto version of a low-carb diet, is to have you stay strictly away from carbohydrates, the sugars and the starches, much like a total abstinence from alcohol would be. But if you're in charge of food preparation, you're having people come over, find keto versions of these holiday recipes. Internet recipes are all over. You type in low carb or keto with the food that you want, stuffing or casserole, and you'll get lots of versions available for you. Now, if you're out and about, you're not in charge of the food and you're going to someone else's house, you can accept the food and drink, but you don't have to consume all of it or even much of it. Again, stick to the meat and the veggies. If you do eat some carbs, keep the amount to a minimum. The bottom line is it has to do with the amount of grams of carbohydrates. It's not poison to have carbohydrates. You just limit the amount. Remember, a teaspoon of sugar is about 5 grams of carbohydrates. So if you eat something on a teaspoon, it can't be more than 5 grams of carbohydrates because sugar is 5 grams. So you want to just minimize the amount. Just have a taste is what we say. You may bring your own low-carb food to parties. Time-honored treasure is the deviled eggs. Everyone loves deviled eggs, and you'll be the hit of the party if you do. So a side dish or dessert, the low-carb or pumpkin cheesecake is a popular thing. You don't even have to make a crust with it, so it's a crustless cheesecake. And you can deflect any social pressure there might be to eat carbs. There are carb pushers out there for various reasons. You don't have to explain your dietary choices to anyone. And if you change the subject enough and people still push the carbs, they're the ones who kind of feel out of place. Treat yourself in other ways over the holidays. Holidays are not just about the food. Focus on loved ones. You might even start other traditions that have nothing to do with food. Non-food celebrations like going for a walk, having music, and well, of course, there are the presents. So taking time to purchase and then give and receive presents. Enjoy that over the holidays. If you're out and about, things are busy. Fast food is not forbidden. You might get a burger or a cheeseburger or even bacon cheeseburger with no bun, no bread, of course. You might get grilled chicken or you might get brisket and collards. There's a lot of food that you can have if you're out and about, even drive-through. If you don't have any time, you're busy doing other things. Remember, alcohol is not forbidden, but it should be limited. Limit alcohol to a drink or two. Stick to keto-friendly drinks as much as possible. Remember, there's a 5 gram per drink kind of rule of thumb. That is to say that a glass of wine, a restaurant pour, not a home pour of wine, is about 5 carbs. Of course, that should be dry wine, just not a fruity wine. Low-carb beer or light beer, 12 ounces, count that as 5 carbs. And then 1 or 2 alcoholic shots is about 5 carbs with a sugar-free mixer, of course. I remember during these keto conferences and keto fairs, a very popular drink would be a vodka, club soda, and twist of lime. So it is possible to drink over the holidays. Be aware that the traditional eggnog is usually full of sugar. If it's not, if it's sugar-free, that would be a great choice, of course. And focus on progress, please, not perfection. Take time to reflect on how far you've come. You pretend you're coming down this mountain, and if you've stopped or you're taking a pause, just reflect on how far that you've come, and then you'll get up and continue on the rest of your journey after the holidays. If you do have carbs, please, no shame or guilt. It's just carbohydrate. It's just a fuel that's going to stop the fat burning. It's very hard to burn fat when you're consuming sugar and starches, consuming the carbs. Remember, you have to burn through all of those carbs before your body is going to give up any fat into the flame, if you will, the fire. So carbohydrates are kind of like the paper that when you put it on the fire, it gets burned immediately. And you want to burn the log, which is kind of like your body fat, not the paper, which is kind of like the carbs. So minimize the carbs, have just a taste if you need to, but realize you've just stopped the fat burning and you'll get back on track just as soon as you can. Remember that every day is a new day, and don't let a holiday become a hollow week, or a hollow week become a hollow month. I've seen people who have made great progress through the year, the summer or the fall, and then they get taken off track during the holidays and regain much, if not all of their weight by the time the new year comes around. It's always kind of sad to see. Much of the time it's because there is a sugar and processed food addiction, and you might not really be in control once you get off track. If that's you, if it's your first or second holiday you're going through, try to practice total abstinence or just a taste, because the carbohydrate will rekindle the flame, your desire for the sugar and the starches if you're a true sugar and processed food addict. So don't let the holiday become a hollow week. But you might even give yourself permission to have carbs on the holiday, but then get back right on track the next day. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year, and many great wishes for the next year. Remember, my top 10 tips to start keto the right way is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and check out adaptyourlifeacademy.com.